morning, guys. Good morning. Thank you for being here and welcome to Deep Meaningful Conversations. Good to have you and really exciting to actually get this discussion started. Just to highlight, I've made my notes on my iPad here. Just to highlight our session, Deep Meaningful Conversation, the purpose of it is mainly to ignite a deeper level of thinking among individuals. So for the purpose of this session, I think it's important to probably understand maybe what age group we are in, and that being why it's important, I think it's because it gives us a sense of where we're going and who we're actually talking to. When we obviously get to the end of our session, we can then conclude and see within this age group, would we be talking, is this supposed to be the conversations that we're supposed to be having within our age group? Okay, so that's the purpose. And I think, and you're welcome to introduce yourselves if you're comfortable doing that.
My name is Nolubo Kyobu, and
my name is Landilisha Manisa Puzwayo, and I am 24. Yep, I'm 24.
oh, I'm Masinje Yobu, and I am also turning 19 with you.
I'm Thea Damon, and I'm 19.
Okay, perfect. And I'm Carla. I'm there, and it's so wonderful to engage you guys with deep, meaningful conversations. I feel like we've got to be engaging with you guys and your generation to shift the moral compass that people in our age group have communicated to the ones coming behind us. So there's a moral compass that we live by, but something's got to shift in that perspective in order for us to see you guys thrive. And in our age group, it's possible, but we kind of set in our ways, and it becomes very difficult for us to accept that the shift has to begin with us. Whereas if it shifts with you guys and your children, you've got nothing but prosperity and good lives ahead of you. So part of deep, meaningful conversations is all about that. What type of conversations are we prepared to have with ourselves and with the generations that come after us? So I'm very pleased to have you guys with me today. And please feel free to ask questions and to engage. Okay. At any time. Part of our conversations as well, besides igniting the way we think, it's also an encouragement to individuals to observe themselves. It's very important to observe how we do things, observe our behaviors, how our very own behavior actually triggers what we experience or the outcomes. Remember that for every outcomes experience or for every circumstance we experience, there's been a contribution, and the contribution is based on my behavior. It's important for me to observe my behavior and my contribution to having experienced the issue I'm dealing with at hand. So part of DMC and the conversations we should be having with ourselves first is what it is that I am doing, what it is that I'm saying to myself. Hence, I've been talking about for a while, and in my previous recording, is that what are the deep, meaningful conversations that we have with ourselves first in order to behave in the ways that we behave, which impact the outcomes and what we experience in our lives. So, above all else, the whole idea of having deep, meaningful conversations with oneself is evolution. What is the meaning of evolution, guys? What does evolution mean? What does that mean?
To change, to grow,
To grow,
to
yeah.
adapt.
Yeah.
Adapt.
That you can't run away from the
Let's
fact
look
that-
up the dictionary meaning of evolution.
Should we?
Yes. Because deep, meaningful conversations are really, they're supported by the idea that
We're looking
one's evolution. One's evolution is what will bring one's desired outcomes in their lives. So what is evolution? What is the meaning of evolution?
the process by which different kinds of living organisms are believed to have developed from earlier forms during the history of the earth. And then the other one says the gradual development of something.
So it's the gradual development of something, and it's the gradual development of a person. It's your development, it's your growth. And most importantly, our growth happens via our experiences in life. And so for me, I like to compare revolution with evolution. And for someone who hasn't evolved or grown, they, for me, are in the revolutionary state. And the reason why I like to use this comparison is because revolution means, you can look up the dictionary meaning, but it means you're always in fighting mode. You're fighting for acknowledgement. You're fighting to be heard. You're fighting to, so you're this person like, hey, I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm here. You're fighting to be heard, and the people you're speaking to are just not hearing your message. And you're so in this revolutionary state that when you're trying to say this, and someone else is actually trying to get their message louder than yours. And yet when you move from revolution to evolution, you're free, you're liberated. They don't hear your message, it's okay. Those who need to hear my message will hear it when the time's right. You don't fight for acknowledgement. You don't fight for acceptance. You don't fight for people valuing you. Their opinions don't actually matter. Evolution is all of those things.
Yeah, if you go to the comments in some influencers pages, you always find people commenting like, you say you're an influencer, but you just post about makeup, or use your platform to speak about topics like social issues. You know, you are blinded by social issues, but you only worry about like your makeup or your fashion, whatever. So I think they've also lost the concept or the meaning of what an influencer is, because they're so caught up in the rewards, the free clothes, the free makeup, the money, the popularity, the fame. Yes. Yeah.
And this is why in the beginning I said that it's not about the fame and the fortune and about the cameras and the recording. It's about the deep, meaningful conversation that we will be having here today that matters. That is important. And a lot of people lose sight of the fact that when I do something, I do it for me and not for anyone else. And what you're saying is very relevant. Your name was what? Noluvo. Don't worry about me asking. I have to ask. Noluvo, I feel it was relevant because this is where we as parents needed to have come in at an earlier age with you guys and say and have deep, meaningful conversation with ourselves in order for you guys to not be in that revolutionary state, because it's a trend. From my generation, this is what I know and what I've been taught from my predecessors, my parents. And I've taken what I've taken from there, and now I want to teach it to my kids. and it's all been revolutionary. Until somewhere I break as a parent, I break the chain and say, hey, I need to teach my children to be independent, to know who they are, to accept themselves, and understand that whatever decisions it is they make in their lives, it will be what they will reap. Whatever it is, whatever circumstance, I can't live, and some of us parents have that problem where we want to live our dreams through our kids. We haven't achieved A, B, and C, so we want you to become the doctor, or you to become the lawyer, or you to become that because it was my dream, and because of what my parents enforced or how I was taught. There's been no evolution there. There's just been the revolution, which was either oppressive or suppressive to us. And guess what? I just pass it on to you as my kid. And you, at the age of 19, you're in revolutionary state because you know better. So it has to shift the perspective, the way of being, most importantly. And deep, meaningful conversations have to happen with you first. Understanding that when I'm doing this, being an influencer, what is that? What does it mean to me? The reason why I'm doing the exercise with you guys here, going back to the dictionary, because there's a dictionary meaning for every word, and there's my meaning for every word, as in person, individual. Evolution to me might mean growth and all of that. Evolution to you might mean something else, but the dictionary meaning is different. So it's very important that we observe our behaviors and observe the meaning that we make of who we are in our lives. So I want to be an influencer. I want fame, I want fortune. I think everyone gets to a stage when they want fame and fortune. But who am I doing it for? Do I just want to make money because I need to make money? Or do I really actually want to go there? But in revolutionary state, it's going to elude you. It's going to run away from you, and you'll waste most of your good years running after something that you're never going to put your hands on.
And that even if you get, is not going to be satisfied. Like it's not going to satisfy.
It's not going to complete you.
Yeah, you thought that whatever, because I think that's the culture that's being perpetuated right now. I think for the most part, we're being taught to go out there and go and say, because it's easier to, I guess, control people when they're in a very subdued space, like with their own minds. And right now, the culture that we're in is just go, get, move, keep moving. You don't have time to think, you don't have time to digest, you don't even remember why you started doing what you were even doing in the first place. And I think for the most part, we lack a great deal of purpose with things that we're doing. And when you don't really have purpose and drive, it's hard for you to carry on doing meaningful things and even having deep, meaningful conversations, because it ends up feeling as though it's futile, and that's the culture that we're in right now. Influencers don't know any better. We can't switch off the Instagram and the WhatsApp and everything else and still, and still actually, and I think that's when you're actually really influencing. They were people that were doing the things that they were Instagramming and posting, like literally living the life, and then everything else was following.
I think to add on to that, with the go-go situation, I'm gonna always refer to our age group. With us, we don't wanna, we don't want to be told no.
Yes.
We don't want to be told to stop. Like I want to go. There's a time where you need to just relax and just like observe the environment. With us, we don't want to be told. I've realized that with people that there's a lot of young upcoming artists that I know, and they will always send you links to their songs. Please listen to my song. Please do this and that. And when you try to tell them that, I'm not really liking this part, they don't want to hear you. They don't want to be told no. With the go thing, it's like, don't stop me from trying to get